We get phone calls and emails every day from frustrated Oracle customers looking to make savings. That's why we've asked founder and CEO of Support Revolution, Mark Smith, to do a brief video on his top 5 tips for CIOs to make savings on their Oracle estates. Thanks for joining us, Mark. So what is your first tip for CIOs looking to cut their Oracle bills?
Thanks, Dan. Well, I think that the first one's pretty obvious, really. It's to stop any unnecessary projects or spending. I think a lot of people have been, doing projects like moving to the cloud. But if you look at the business case for those, I think what's going to happen now is businesses are going to ask you to, CIOs really, to prove the business case. So moving to the cloud, is it going to save money quickly? No, probably not, because you're going to have a capex expenditure to move to the cloud to make some opex savings in a few years' time. So I think what obviously it's something to do is to stop all those costly projects. Don't do the upgrades that are not, unless they're absolutely necessary. But I think it's a pretty obvious one, Dan, but just wanted to get it out there as the first slide. And obviously the main thing here is sweating legacy assets. So you've got systems in place, they're probably doing a good enough job, and you can probably kind of sweat those a little bit more. So I think what we're going to see is a lot of the big projects are going to be canned or put back, and people are going to really look to save money instead of spending capex at this particular time.
Makes sense, especially in the current economic climate. And your second tip was right-sizing your Oracle estate. Can you give us some more information on that, please?
Sure. So I think what a lot of customers have is they have a lot of invoices from Oracle, covering lots of products. And what you can do is you can map those onto your systems and see if you could actually terminate any of those licenses. So, for example, if you've had 3 licenses covering broadly similar sets of products, you might have bought them for old systems in the past, but actually those licenses cover you for the product irrespective of the system. So by remapping your licenses to your estate, you might find that, let's say you had 3 invoices, you may be able to cover the estate with 2 of those and cancel one. So remapping your estate and right-sizing it is a way to make some dramatic savings, and that doesn't have to be a difficult exercise either. So your IT people, department, probably know where your licenses are deployed anyway, but let's have a quick check through those and see if there are any that could cancel and make some massive savings.
That makes sense. Is there anything to be careful of in doing this? Is there any kind of Oracle gotchas that people should be wary of?
Absolutely, and I think the one of the things that Oracle will do is there's a lot of misinformation out there around things like matching service level policies, where they say you can't cancel that invoice because it's related to that invoice over there. So if you need external help on that, there are a great number of consultants out there that can help you with that. But be diligent and remember that Oracle are trying to sell you more, not less. So make sure you get in control of that and you get some assistance and you see if there are things that you could remap and make some savings.
Thanks, Mark. So moving on to your third point, this one's specifically for Oracle customers, which are ULAs. Why would you advise customers escape their ULAs?
Well, Dan, a ULA, as you know, is what Oracle call an unlimited license agreement, or what customers call a very limiting license agreement. So what it really does is, customers get into these when they've got lots of projects going on, and it gives them kind of a freedom to deploy what they wish in and over a period of 3 years usually. Problem is that what looks like a great deal on the way in, at the 3-year point when you want to try and get out of that ULA, you often find that you can't, and you have to roll it over. And every time you roll it over, you're effectively doubling not only the purchase price of the licenses, but also the support. So these are a very, very expensive thing. If you've got a ULA, make sure you understand whether you're in control of that ULA. What Oracle also do is they know that, for instance, when you took out this ULA 3 years ago, maybe the people that understood it then, the procurement people, the IT people, maybe they've moved on or changed roles, and you might have a great big agreement there that's going to renew imminently. So check your Oracle licenses, see if you've got an unlimited license agreement. If you have, make sure you understand it, because you don't want that just rolling over at the next renewal point. So we've done a whole kind of a webinar on that one. So there's a great deal of tips in there from ourselves and from Forrester. So if you've got a ULA, get out of it.
Great tip there, Mark. And moving on to your fourth tip, trying to negotiate with Oracle.
Well, Dan, you can always try, I suppose. And I think you've got to try. So one of the things that we know that Oracle are doing at the moment is they're giving people payment holidays. What that tends to look like is they'll defer your payment from this year till next year, but next year you're going to pay double, and they'll probably want to roll some additional software in there to do that for you. So, I mean, there are deals to be had, though, particularly if you understand Oracle's cloud obsession. What Oracle really want to do is sell more cloud. And you can Google this. They've been selling cloud as part of big deals just to sweeten the deal, but so that they can recognize more cloud revenue, knowing full well that the customer may not deploy that cloud. But if you understand that and you're negotiating with Oracle, then you can use that to your advantage. So allow them to put a little bit of cloud into a deal if they'll roll it over for 3 months or 6 months or 9 months. So just understand that Oracle may be able to negotiate a little bit, but you need to be fully aware of what your end goal is at this point, and make sure that if it is to get Oracle to extend by 3 months while you leave, then make sure that you set out the deal for Oracle. There's going to be a great cloud deal for them. They'll probably allow you to do that then, and then you can get your house in order. But by all means, try to negotiate with Oracle, but do remember they're publicly quoted. They have to increase their revenue every year, and they're unlikely to just reduce your price. So you need to be prepared before you negotiate, but always give it a go.
Thanks for that, Mark. And just like your last tip for escaping your ULA, you've recently done a webinar with Forrester on this, so the link for that's on the screen. And then on to your final tip, moving to third-party support. Can you, for people who aren't aware of this, can you give us a brief explanation of what that means?
Sure. So obviously negotiating with Oracle, trying to reduce your support bills, that's going to be a very difficult thing. One of the things that you can do, though, is if you move to third-party support with a company such as Support Revolution, you can guarantee to cut your support bills in half straight away. So it's a great tactic. I mean, it's something that Gartner and Forrester are really pushing towards their customers as well. It's a fairly straightforward process. On the right there of the slide, we've got the 3 steps. Firstly, you build your business case. We've got a white paper that helps you to put that out in front of your colleagues so that you can prove how good an offering this is. Then you book a consultation call with one of our team, and we answer any questions you may have. And then really you just hand in your notice to Oracle. You do need to transition across. You probably need to leave 2 or 3 months to do that. But it's not a difficult thing, and it is a great way of making savings in these difficult times. So please do get in touch, and we'd be delighted to help you.
Thanks very much for that, Mark. And for everyone watching, to learn more, just follow the URL on the screen. That will take you through our guide for what third-party support is and how to sign on to it, as well as more Oracle saving tips.